Good afternoon, fam. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker, and also known as Tamara Brock. And let me just introduce myself. I am a lease driver at a company called LTI, which is out of St. Louis. And I get paid cents per mile. I've been leasing a truck for about 5 years now since I've been in the industry. And I just wanted to give you a couple of tips on how you too can be successful in a lease purchase, or at least show you your numbers, so you would know the questions to ask when you decide to do a lease. Okay, this video is not for anyone, that only for people that are interested in doing a lease or want to know how to manage their fixed costs, keep their expenses low, and how to be successful in the lease. Okay, so first of all, let's see. What are some of the pros of a lease purchase? Okay. Some of the pros that people say is that there is no forced dispatch. You can run, you can take the load if it's beneficial to you. You don't have to take the load if you don't want to take the load. So people like the idea of not having to be forced to take a load. Okay. Some of them, they will let you pick your own load. Like they may have their own little internal load board that you can pick a load and run it the way you want to. Some of them, leases that you can take off when you want. So, you don't have to work 4 weeks and then take a day off. You can actually take off whenever you need to take off. So that's a pro in leasing. Some people have the idea that you can make more in a lease truck than as a company driver, and that's not all the time true. But sometimes people, you can make more as a company driver, but sometimes it may even up at the end of the day. Okay. Another point that people love about a lease truck is that you get to own the truck. If it's a lease to purchase, you will own that truck, in about 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, a lot of people like that you're able to walk away from the lease. Okay, so those are just some of the pros that a lease purchase has to offer. Let's look at some of the cons. Okay, so reason why people do not like leases, okay, or don't like you to get in a lease. First of all, there's no taxes taken out. So you're paid on a 1099. So there's no Medicare, there's no Social Security tax, there's no federal tax taken out, there's no state tax taken out. So you're paid on a straight 1099. So the issue is that at the end of the year, if you don't save your money correctly or take out the money for those taxes, you are going to be in the hole owing the IRS money. Okay, so you have to be particular with that. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble, not having taxes taken out and not putting the money aside for the taxes. If you do a 1099 all your year, you haven't paid into Social Security. Okay, you haven't paid into Medicare. So you need to look at those things, talk to somebody about how this will benefit you if that's something that you do long term. Okay, another thing is a lot of lease companies, like lease purchase, don't offer insurance. You're an independent contractor, so you are required to get your insurance on your own. That's another cost that you have to look at as far as taking away from your bottom line at your net. Okay, sometimes that's automatically taken out. Well, yeah, it's automatically taken out for a company driver. The taxes are taken out. If you choose to have benefits, that's taken out your check. If 401k, all that's taken out. Okay, but as a lease driver on a 1099, those things are not taken out. So you need to consider that, especially when you have a family, on how you're going to be able to have medical benefits for them. Okay. Um, Cons of a lease: most people don't complete a lease. I would say 80%, 80, 90%. The turnover in a lease truck is very high. Not a lot of people complete it. They usually either turn their truck in before the lease is over with. Things happen that they take too much time off. They're in a hole. They may have some issues with their truck. Their truck may break down. They don't have the money to fix it. So there's a lot of things that will come up in that 3 to 4 years that you're trying to pay for that truck, and may prevent you from paying your lease off. So you do need to take that in consideration. Um, Another thing, all the expenses are on the driver. They pay you a higher amount, but they taking out things like for fuel. They taking out a lot of things that is pushed on the driver that you have to take away from and still try to make some money at the end of the day to own your truck. Um, the money that you invest in your truck, the money that you invest in it, if you do not complete that lease, you lost all that money. Okay, you don't get that money back. They take out an escrow. You may get that back. You're supposed to, but sometimes companies, keep that money as well. Another thing, if you are disgruntled or if you have a problem with your lease, that you feel like you was treated unfairly in your lease, then you can't just go to court and sue the company, or have it issued out in court. A lot of leases make you sign a disclaimer about arbitration. That means that you have to talk about it with the company before you can take it to court. You can't just take them to court. So that may be a disadvantage in the eye of the leasing, the person that's leasing the truck. Okay, usually the company wins on that, and you just lose your truck and you can't take it with you. Okay. Um, yeah, another thing is you can't take that truck. A lot of companies will not let you take that truck somewhere else if you're not making money at the particular company that you are. So the downfall is that you got to keep that truck at that same location all that time until you completely pay it off. Okay. Um, and another thing, the fixed costs don't stop. So if you take off and you didn't work all week, whatever your fixed cost is, you're going to owe that amount when you come back to work. Okay, so you really need to take that into consideration. All right. So thing that we're going to talk about to know your fixed costs, your weekly deductions of what's coming out of your check. Now, since I do not see all you all checks or your lease checks or whatever the case may be, the only thing that I can do is go off of my lease settlements and what my fixed cost is. This is what they say when you need to know your fixed costs. Okay, so when you're looking at a lease or to get a lease purchase, you want to ask your recruiter or the company that you're deciding to go with. You want to ask, what are fixed costs? What are the things that's going to come out of your check every week, that does not stop? Okay, it's a reoccurring thing. And it does not stop. So, what are you looking at as far as being in the hole if you decide that you have to take off, right? So at LTI, and this may be different at your company, compare it and see what you have that you're paying out that you can make some adjustments on. Okay, so at LTI you have what is called the bobtail deduction. Okay, that's your insurance on your bobtail, which is $7.62 a week. Okay, I have to pay what is called heavy highway use deduction, which is $12.41 a week. And something else is included in that as well. But it totals up to $12.41 that they automatically take out. So if I pay over, whatever the case may be, I will get that back on at either the end of the quarter or the end of the month. Okay. My lease payment. This is what you have to be careful of, is what kind of lease payment that you have. I have a 2016 Freightliner Cascadia, and it had about 300,000 miles on it when I got it, and my lease payment is $412 a week. Okay, so keep that in mind when you are looking at the terms of your lease, okay? And also my lease payment was for 4 years, all right? Now, I also have a license deduction. When I came over to LTI, they didn't charge me for they take out your plates on a weekly basis. So they take out the money for your plates and things, so you don't have to come up front with the money on that, and they take out $58.91. I also have what is called physical damage insurance. So if anything happens to truck and trailer or any kind of damage that I might do out there on the road, I am covered with paying $109 a week. Okay, so my total fixed cost is $599.94. So I know that if I take off a week, when I come back, I am going to owe $599.94. That does not stop, okay? What I would like to tell you to do is, if you know that you're taking off and you are going to be on a cruise or whatever the case may be, either save this money to the side, the $599.94. You can do it a couple of ways. You can save a trip that will take care of that. Okay, if you ran a trip that was 1,000 miles or whatever the case may be, just put that on your next settlement and you will take care of your fixed costs. Or you can run enough to pay your fixed costs and then take off for the rest of the week. Over here at LTI, you need to know when your dates start and when your dates end. Okay, our dates start Saturday morning. That's when we start our loads for the beginning of the week, and it ends Friday midnight. So everything that we do from Saturday to Friday goes in on one check. Okay. Um, so that's your total fixed cost. I do tell people to try to run to take care of that before you take off time. All right. If not, you're going to be in the hole, so you're going to have to prepare to pay that money back, plus continue to run to make a profit. All right. If you get too far behind in your fixed costs, it will be harder for you to get out of the hole. Okay. So, knowing your fixed costs. So, make sure you write those things down. Um, Make sure you write those things down so you will know what to ask when you decide to go to a lease company or to lease a truck, or see what you are paying and add that in there to see what your fixed costs. Okay. You also want to know what the company pays for. What expenses are they paying? What are they not charging you for? Okay, the only thing that I can do is talk to you about LTI. All right, I can't talk to you about other companies because I have 50 companies. So I go over the fixed costs with you so you know what you're getting yourself into. Now, at LTI, we have no trailer payment. Okay, none. I don't get charged for a trailer payment. So I can use the trailer, pick up loads, deliver, and I don't pay a fee for that. Okay, another thing, we have pre-pass that's included. So I don't have to pay any tolls out of pocket. The tolls are paid by the company, okay? The tolls are paid by the company. I don't have to pay for any tolls, okay? Um, LTI pays for my scale. So anytime I need to go pay my scale or scale alone, I just use my Com Data card and they pay for that as well. They pay for that for company drivers, lease purchase drivers, and all owner operators, okay? You do not have to pay for the scale. There is no cost to run the Qualcomm. Okay, so if they put a Qualcomm in your truck, you don't have to pay a weekly, monthly fee for the Qualcomm. They install that for you for no cost at all. Um, LTI pays for reefer fuel. We are a refrigerator company, okay? So since I don't pay for the trailer, I don't pay for the reefer fuel at all. They pay for the reefer fuel, okay? LTI also pays for trailer washouts, so that's included in the agreement of the lease, that if I need to wash a trailer out, it's not being billed towards me. Okay. They pay for all tolls. Yeah, LTI pays for all tolls. And another thing they pay for is they pay for all lumpers. Okay, so when you go to the lumper to pay for a load being unloaded, you don't have to pay out of pocket for that. They pay all lumper fees. Okay, now as far as detention, anytime you are past 2 hours on your load, you get paid $25 an hour. If you are without a load for 24 hours, it's an automatic $200 a day. Okay, we try to stay away from detentions and we try to stay away from layovers. Now, what do you look at as a lease? Now, this is just what I look at for a lease. Um, Usually, people get leases that they don't have any money down. You don't have to put money down to get it. It's a walk away, so you're not obligated. If you get sick, if something comes up, you're not making money, or whatever the case may be, you can walk away, not obligated to the truck. Okay. Now, if you have an escrow or escrow account set up, they may take out for if they need to replace the tires or if you damage the truck or anything like that will come from your escrow account. Okay. But people like that the fact is there's no money down. There is a walkaway lease. At the end of the lease, there is $1 buyout. I do not recommend leases that have a big balloon payment. What they will do is they will lower that payment for you through the lease term, and then at the end, you got to pay 30, $40,000 to pay the truck off. Okay, I don't recommend that. I recommend leases with $1 buyout. Um, no credit check, so you don't have to go to your get your credit pulled or anything like that. All you have to do is be qualified to drive the truck, and you will be. Some companies want you to have a little bit of experience. You do need to have some sort of business knowledge because you are getting a 1099. This is your business, and you need to treat it as a business. So you got to not only know your fixed costs, you got to know how to run your truck. Okay, you can't come and just run 3, 4 hours a day and think that it's going to be good for you to have a positive check. Okay, you got to learn how to run your truck, and you also got to know your numbers. Over here, I recommend. I like getting a used truck. Some people don't like used trucks, but I like used trucks. Freightliner Cascadias. We have Freightliner Cascadias, and we have Volvos. Okay, so I like using. I like taking having a used truck but under warranty. Okay, there's a difference. So I don't get it that it has over 500,000 miles on it, and I don't get a truck that is not covered under warranty. So make sure that if you're going to do a lease that you have a warranty with that truck because those breakdowns um, can cost you your lease. Okay, if you're getting breakdown after breakdown and you're not don't have the money in escrow to pay for those breakdowns, it will cause you to turn your truck in as well. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. And also, you got to have money for your tires and things. Those are normal wear and tear, but you pay an escrow every week for that. My truck over here at LTI is governed at 65. If you're going to be in a lease driver, don't get in a lease truck just because the truck is 70 miles, 75 miles an hour, whatever the case may be. You are throwing money away. Okay, you do not want to do that. You are throwing money away. You want to run that truck 65 and below. Anywhere between 60, 65 is a good speed, but you do not want to be running 70, 75 miles an hour down the road in a lease truck. Okay, you're just burning up your fuel. All that money is your money that you could be putting back into your pocket if you just run that truck at a slower speed. Okay, I do regional runs. I don't go OTR, but there are leases that do 48 states, so you can get your miles. I'm on cents per mile. There's no forced dispatch, and I have an APU on the truck. You want to have an APU on your truck. You do not want to be idling your truck all the time, okay? As much as possible, um, make sure that, when you sitting for a period of time, turn that truck off, turn your APU on, okay? You do not want to be burning fuel, all right? Um, how much do I get paid? Okay, I'm on cents per mile. Okay, so I'm going to base this lesson on cents per mile drivers. I will do another video later on to show you about percentage, but even though percentage is still cents per mile as well, if you break it down by the miles, okay, or the cost per mile. Um, I'm a lease driver and I get paid $1.02 a mile. Okay, and that is because I leased the truck through LTI. If I brought my truck in and I was an owner operator that brought their truck in, and I will have a choice to either be on percentage at 65% of the load. Okay, the difference in the fixed costs on owner operators and lease drivers is that the lease drivers has a truck note. The owner operators, there's no truck note paid out of their check. Okay, so they come in with their own truck. There's no truck note paid out the check, so their fixed costs will be less. You would take the $5.99 and subtract $412, and that would be the owner operator's fixed cost if they leased a truck on to LTI. Um, and LTI is not really strict on the year of the truck. Okay, as long as it can pass a DOT inspection, then they pretty much lenient on year of the truck. So you may see some older trucks here at LTI. Okay, now if you do bring your truck into LTI, you are responsible for your truck being fixed. Okay, the only trucks that the shop work on at LTI are the lease purchase trucks. Okay, those are the only trucks that they work on. They do not work on owner operated trucks. All right. I get paid the 26 cents fuel surcharge on all miles. That's loaded and empty. I get paid $1.02 on all miles, loaded and empty. On the operator, you're not paid by the miles, you're paid by the load. The good thing about LTI, we do have some brokered freight, but our company is not built on brokered freight. We have contracted freight where we have Hershey loads and things like that. So that 65% may be beneficial to somebody that is an owner operator. Okay. Another thing, at LTI, we don't have a lot of lease drivers. Out of 200 or so drivers, we may have about 10 lease drivers. Okay. Leasing is not very popular over here, um, because they do want you to run a month as a company driver before you can even lease a truck. And you got to be able to know your numbers to lease over here at LTI, okay? Owner operators do come in at LTI as well. There's a couple of those that have their trucks here. But yeah, next, let's see. This is some of the tips I wanted to talk to you about as far as how to run your truck. Try to run. I try to run my truck 5 days a week. You can either run it 5 days a week at 500 miles. That will give you 2,500 miles. And you can do 400 miles on the sixth day, and you can take the seventh day off. Or you can run 500 5 days a week and take 2 days off. Can you run more than 500 miles? Yes, you can. But the average miles over here at LTI is going to be about 500 miles. A lot of things that will help you is also going to be, we have a lot of dropping hooks that will keep you moving so you don't have to delay at the shipper and receiver. Okay, you can also run 400 miles a day for 6 days a week and take one day off. That's 2,800 miles. um, Make sure you take the days off to cover make sure when you taking days off, cover your fixed costs always. Okay, if you can, cover your fixed costs. And um, um, because you won't have a check. And the difference too is you won't have a check, but I spelled hole wrong. You won't have a check, but you won't be in a hole. Okay, you won't have a check, but you won't be in a hole. So you're just like a company driver, but at least you're not owing any money, and you're able to take off time with your family. All right, schedule your days off when time goes in. For example, this is how I run. If I am, if time goes in on Friday, I may take Saturday and Sunday off, and I will run Monday, or I will work Saturday and Sunday, okay? Um, and then I will take Monday through Friday off if I want to take off for the week, because Saturday and Sunday I can run and cover my fixed costs, and then that way I can take Monday through Friday off and not worry about being in a hole. Okay. Another thing that is you are responsible for your DEF fuel. I did forget to tell you about that. You are responsible for your DEF. So your DEF runs about, I would say, $35 a week. I fill up with my DEF. You do have to pay for that. Um, it just don't take the whole 7 days off if you can. Okay, try to stay out the hole. um Another thing that may affect your lease is, like I told you, the breakdowns, not having a good dispatcher that works with you. I've been able to be fortunate to have some pretty good dispatchers, and that's what you want to have. Make sure that communication line is open, and you got to be on top of your business. You know that if you're delivering a load at 7 o'clock on Sunday, and you know it's the weekend, you want to make sure that you have a pre-plan in effect about time you drop off your load for the next day. Okay, you want to know what you're doing ahead of time to keep moving. People forget about you, especially on the weekend, so you want to make sure that you are planned on your loads, that will keep you moving before you drop off your load. You want to have another one ready to go. Okay. um, but keep the lines of communication open with your dispatcher. If you find that you're having problems with your dispatcher, they're not communicating with you and not running you the way you think that you should be ran, then always request to have a different dispatcher. Okay, someone that, remember, is your business. So request to have another dispatcher. Um, Take Saturday through Wednesday off, and work Thursday and Friday. Yeah, that's one thing you can do. You can take Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Take 4 days. What's that? Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All 4 days off. Come back, work Thursday and Friday, and you covered your costs. Okay. Let me see. Some other tips. Not all leases are the same. So it's very important to find one, if you decide to get into a lease, that works for you. Okay. And don't get fooled by higher percentages. Okay. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I made out here in leasing, is that I listened to everybody else that was making, 75% of the load, or more money than I was making. And when I went to go work for that company, it didn't work for me. So do what works for you, and do what you know what your bottom line needs to be. Okay. Some people are able to do it, some people are not. But you want to always try to be profitable. And when you're doing a lease, save your money for your taxes and unexpected expenses, or if you get sick, anything like that. Save your money. Okay, because you may be running and making good money, and over 2,000, but there's going to be some times that you're not going to be making over 2,000. You may make $1,100. You may make 1,000, or whatever the case may be. So when you have those good weeks, put that money aside to fall back on for the bad weeks. Okay, because the bad weeks are coming. You may have a breakdown. You may have to go in a hotel. You may have to, you know get set back a little bit. So if you have that money saved to the side, it will help you better recover for when you're going through those times. Know your fixed costs, okay? Know your fuel per mile. Know how many gallons you're getting per mile. Know your fixed costs like the back of your hand, okay? Know what you need to do out here on the road. Don't let it be a surprise. Ask questions all the time. Before you sign up with a lease, ask as many questions as you possibly can. Um, Find a company that has freight, okay? Because the key of a cents per mile is we got to run the mile. So you want to find a company that has the freight to keep you moving. Dropping hooks, where you can get it, go, drop it, and keep moving, okay? The goal is to make money while paying for the truck. That's what my goal is. Some people's goal is not the same. Some people want to just lease a truck, turn it back in, and just have a tool to to um, that won't break down, and they can make extra money on the side, but they're not really into owning a truck. Decide what your goal is for that lease, okay, and work towards your goal. You don't have to buy a truck. You can just lease it and not purchase it, okay? But my goal is to have ownership, okay, at some point at time, so I can cut back a little bit more on my fixed costs. I won't have a truck payment, and then I can change the way that I run as well and may have a little bit more quality of life out here, okay? Okay, let's go over how to make $2,000 a week. Let's do the math based on 2,912 miles. Okay, 2,912 miles based on $1.02 per mile. That's what I get paid over here at LTI. You will have to do the math where you're thinking about going to the company or whatever the case may be. Do the math as well. Okay. So if you take 2,912 miles based on $1.02 a mile, you will have a gross revenue of $2,970.24. Now, I do also get a fuel surcharge, and it fluctuates 26 cents a mile. So it makes it a total of a $1.02 per mile plus the 26 cents per mile, which equals $1.28 per mile. Okay. So take the $2,970 plus 24 cents, add your fuel surcharge, which is $757.12, to the $2,970.24. You're looking at a total gross revenue of $3,727.36. Um, so your fixed costs. Remember we did the fixed costs. The fixed costs added up to be $599.24. Um, when you take that away, you're looking at a total of $3,128.12. You also have a maintenance escrow. Okay, so they take 12 cents a mile. I believe it's 12 cents a mile times, let's do 12 cents a mile times 2,912. Let's see what that is. 12 cents a mile times 2,912 miles. Okay, so I get $349.44. So they take 12 cents a mile out for your escrow. That is for any maintenance breakdown. Okay, your tires, your oil, your PMs, your anything that happens in your truck that is not covered under warranty, is an escrow account that goes for your breakdowns. All right, so that brings you down to $2,778.68. Now, my fuel cost was $642.19. Okay, so once you take that away from $2,778.68, you're looking at a revenue of $2,136.49 to the truck. Okay, that doesn't mean that that's your just net. That is what was paid out after all expenses to the truck. Okay, remember, the other things that you got to take away is your um taxes and your health benefits and things like that. Okay, so this is what your bottom line should be at the end of the day. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay. $136.49. All right. So that is what um my average is as far as working at LTI as a lease driver. I hope this video helps. I hope it helps you to make a better, a decision on if you want to lease or not. I hope it makes a decision of how to do your numbers. And this is the way that I do my numbers. Okay, how I make more money than this. You can do things like I recruit, I train, um, um, you could get what they have bonuses that you could get as well. So there's a lot of ways to also increase it. You just have to ask the company what safety bonuses you could qualify for. So you just have to ask the company how to increase that as well. But bottom line, that's what I look at until I pay my truck off. That's the way I'm able to survive. If once I pay my truck off, then I will put $412 back into my account a week, and I'll be looking at an average of about $2,500. Okay, so I hope that video helps you. If you have any questions, put it in the description box, and maybe I can answer them for you. But other than that, peace, love, joy, happiness, and y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.